Welcome back. Survival Saturday with Johnny Tiger on January 28, 2023. Man, it's good to be back in my uniform. Good to be back in this room where we sweat and toil and work out and do some cool martial art, self-defense related stuff. However, today we are not going to be very active physically. Yeah, today I'm going to talk to you guys about something that is very important, but it's more internal than external. The other day, I watched uh, a YouTube video. Apparently, in Japan, there's this reality show where they hire a professional MMA fighter or professional boxer, and anyone who's go on the show, any normal everyday Joe can go on the show and fight this guy. And if you think you can win, you apply, and if you get selected, you get to fight this guy on reality TV. And if you can beat the professional guy, then you get like $1 million or something. Sound like a lot, but $1 million like Japanese yen is not really that much. Um. Anyway, so when I watched that, I saw that a lot of the time people seriously underestimate professional fighters. People think, oh, I go to the gym and I know karate, I know taekwondo, I've been practicing for 10 years, so I should be able to go in there and beat the professional guy. It's not that easy. If you are just a casual participant or casual uh, practitioner, tipping yourself against someone who does it for a job, for career, is very, very dangerous. And one of the first things that you will realize when you do something like that is you cannot match them in energy level. The guy is still going strong after throwing punches for a whole minute, and you are gassed out after 15 seconds. How are you even going to compete with that? So today I'm going to talk about how to conserve energy, how to make the best out of your energy in a fight. A lot of people don't understand, people that never been in an actual fight before. A lot of people don't understand just exactly how tiring a real fight is. You think that it's like at home, you can beat a punching bag. You can do that maybe for quite a bit of time without gassing out if you're in really, really good shape. But in a real fight, you will find that you run out of breath, run out of energy within the first 10 or 20 seconds if you are not used to that. The reason being, when you're in a real fight, you're scared, you're worried, everything is going into overdrive. Your stress hormone is activated. And every time you get hit, every time you get hit in the face, every time you get punched in the stomach, you're just that little bit more tired. You're just that little bit more scared. You're just that little bit more angry. Which means you probably are expending a lot of energy that you could have saved. So knowing how to fight is not just about knowing the punches, the kicks, the knee strikes, the elbow strikes, all that stuff. You need to know how to conserve energy when you're fighting. Now, it is a lot more complicated than I can honestly teach you in one little episode. But I have condensed it down to 6 basic principles that if you focus on them, they will most likely help you feel a lot better next time you have to spar or fight, compete, uh, do this kind of real um, contact, full contact stuff. Now, keep in mind, I'm mostly coming from the point of view of self-defense and defending yourself on the street. So, obviously, there are things that I'm going to say that, depending on what your martial art is and what you compete in, may not even apply at all. Because I'm not going off of boxing, I'm not going off of MMA, I'm not going off of judo. I'm going off of generalized fighting. You versus me, I versus him. We're going to throw down and see which one of us get home in the end. That kind of fighting. Your energy saving tip number 1: relax. Yeah, it's as stupid as that sounds. Relax is one of the biggest things, and it's actually hard, really hard to learn this one. You need to learn to relax. Don't scrunch up when you're fighting. Okay? Don't go all tight and crazy. Okay? Learn to relax. Okay? If they hit you, then you tighten up. Okay? The punch is coming. The moment you feel that kick, then you tighten up and deflect with whatever you need. But if you walk around, if you're going into a fight, tensing up like you're on the stage showing off for Mr. Universe, you'll get tired really, really quick. Okay? So relax. Do your fight stand, do your walk around, whatever. Okay? Relax. It's not that it is not the end of the world. Well, maybe it can be, but you need to relax. Okay? Don't death grip your opponent if you have to clinch or struggle in a grappling situation. Don't just hold on for your dear life every second. You will run out of energy. Okay? When I hook my opponent's head or shoulder, when I'm holding on, I do what I call the controlled relaxation, which means if they're not struggling, then I have maybe 40% of my strength in my hold. I'm very relaxed. I'm still holding on, but I'm very relaxed. But the moment they move, they twitch, I'm going to tighten up. And then they relax, I relax. They move, I tighten up. Okay? Same with punching. A lot of time when people watch me spar, fight, compete, they'll notice that when I'm not punching, when I'm not attacking, my hands are very open. I don't clench my fist the entire time. Keeping your fist clenched the entire time will just tire you out unnecessarily. Okay? So, you're in a fight, unless you're throwing that punch, relax your hand. Okay? Relax. Relax your posture. Now, that doesn't mean you want to stand fully upright. That's not how you relax, because the moment you stand fully upright is when you get knocked out. Okay? But it is okay to hunch over a little bit. Okay? To be a little bit goofy, work your hip. Okay? Move a little bit. Okay? Relax. Same thing when you're working with weapons. A lot of people, when they work with knife or sword, they get this white knuckle death grip, like that. Okay, you are fighting, training, sparring. You're not chopping wood. Okay, you don't need that tight knuckle grip. Okay, so I talked about this before in a knife episode. The best way to hold your weapon is a firm grip but relaxed. So this weapon should have room to move a little bit in your hand, but not so loose that it's going to jump out of your hand. So you have control, but you're relaxed. Like that. Watch my finger. My hand is very relaxed on the sword, but the moment I'm moving, then I tighten my grip a little bit. Energy saving, number two. Tip number two is to breathe. Again, very, very obvious. Okay, very obvious. But a lot of people neglect this because when you're scared, when you're angry, you stop breathing or you go really short breath. Okay, a lot of people when they're scared of being hit, they will hold their breath, like being like as if that's going to make it hurt less. No, it doesn't. Okay, so when you start holding your breath when you're fighting, you will run out of energy, and it doesn't do you any good. Okay, so when you're breathing, this is why a lot of people who have good breath control, boxers, MMA fighters, they can do this. They can punch the bag and still carry on a conversation like this. You know, I can hit, I can still talk to you guys, right? I'm not really pulling my punches either. Yeah, no problem like that. So breathe. When you're breathing, you are giving your muscle, your body, oxygen. That will help you. You'll need it. Energy saving tip number three. Shake it out when you can. This one is again very wacky, but uh, some people may see me do it. If I really get tired out in sparring session or competition or stuff like that, sometimes I will do something like this. For those of you that can't see the camera, can't see the screen, I'm holding my hand in front of my face with my guard up, like in an MMA fight stand. But I let my hand droop. I shake them really quick. Okay? If I'm throwing a hook with my left, sometimes my right will drop behind me. I shake my arm like this. If I think I'm not going to get hit. Okay? Sometimes if I'm throwing a kick, I don't know if you guys see my hand. I throw a kick, my hand is shaking. I'm shaking out my hand. Okay? Help your blood flow. I learned this when I learned piano, how to play piano. A lot of time when my fingers, my hand would cramp up, my piano teacher says this is why you need to stop and shake your hand, shake your arm. You need to let the blood flow. Fighting is the same way. Okay? When you can, assuming that you're not going to take unnecessarily hits to the face, you're not going to get yourself knocked out, it is okay to shake a leg, shake an arm, okay? Again, relax, breathe, shake it out, shake it out, all right? When you're combating your opponent, when facing your opponent, it doesn't always have to be go, 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 go. If there's time for you to relax, relax, shake it out, okay? Shake it out. Shaking it out will also make it hurt less as well if you are getting hit. Number four. Now we are going to go into a little bit more advanced, more deep stuff. Okay, we are done with the obvious stuff. So number four, fight smart, not hard. Fight smart, not hard. This one sounds like a cliche, and it is. but it is something that really only comes with experience. What I can tell you is always keep in your mind, how can I get the most result out of the least effort? How can I get the most result out of the least effort? This means if I'm fighting, I'm rather than trading punches with my really big opponent, I am going to try not to do that. I'm going to let him punch me on the arm, on the shoulder, and I'm going to wait for that good opportunity when I can punch him right in the throat. All I need to do is throw that one punch. Yeah, I don't want to stand here and then trade punches with him. Huh? This means, if at all possible, and again, this is self-defense talk, not boxing or MMA. If at all possible, grab whatever's nearby, hit your opponent with it. Right? Use whatever tool, whatever you can use, rather than use your hands and your feet. This means, if it's at all possible, don't fight, disengage, try to de-escalate, try to run away. Okay, try to use the least effort and get the most result. And if you have to hit them, don't waste energy. Always hit where you think, where you know it should end the fight really quick. So I'm not going to waste energy. When I'm fighting, I never hit anyone on the chest. I never hit anyone on the back. I never hit anyone on the shoulder. Okay? Most of the time when I'm fighting, I'm going to aim for something like the wrist, the elbow joint, the shoulder joint. I'm aiming for the short rib. I'm aiming for the throat. I'm aiming for the groin. Okay? The kind of stuff that I know that all it takes is a couple of shots at the most to put the person down. Number 5, and this one is controversial, but it's no great secret. Avoid grappling. Now, I don't know if, unless you are some kind of like a super judo or Brazilian jiu-jitsu buff, that you may try to argue this one, right? And maybe you are really good at what you do. Like if you're one of the Gracies, then, well, then you wouldn't be watching this video, would you? Then there's nothing I can say that would teach you anything if you're one of the Gracies. But if you're a normal person like me, it's best to avoid grappling in a fight, unless this is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament or a judo tournament or a wrestling tournament, then it's different. But in most circumstances, I'm not even going to go into all the reasons why it's really bad to avoid to grapple. I can make a whole episode on that just alone. But let me ask you guys to do this experiment yourself at home. If you have a punching bag or if you have a big rolled up blanket, right, go ahead and punch or kick this blanket as hard as you can 50 times. And then, okay, rest a little bit, catch your breath, have a sip of water, and then go ahead and pick your blanket up, big rolled up blanket up, pick it up, or your punching bag, pick it up and slam it onto the ground 50 times. And then you tell me which one's more tiring. I'll bet you that the picking up and slamming down is way more tiring than hitting it hard 50 times. Okay? So if your goal is to expend less energy, avoid grappling. Every time you throw someone, it looks great, but it takes a lot of energy. Every time someone grabbing onto you and you're trying to get out of it, it takes a lot of energy. Anytime someone gets you in a chokehold and you're trying to, it takes a lot of energy. Anytime someone throws you to the ground and you have to get back up, it takes a lot of energy. Okay? So, if you want to save energy, then avoid grappling at all costs. You can't always succeed. Sometimes they will get a hold of you, but you need to learn to avoid that. Trying to hit and move. Trying to end the fight before it has to go to the ground. That is number 5. Number 6. Now, in cases where you can't avoid grappling, let's say you're just not that good as a striker. Let's say you are totally blind and you spend your lifetime studying grappling based martial art. So you kind of don't have a choice. You have to grapple because that's what you know how to do. Then in this case, okay, in cases where grappling cannot be avoided, should not be avoided, then number 6 is learn to use momentum and gravity rather than muscle. Learn to use momentum and gravity rather than muscle. Okay, this means when someone is coming to grab me, I am going to, rather than use my arm to pull their arm away, I'm going to drop my weight. Okay? This means when I'm hooking someone around the neck in this headlock, very basic headlock, I'm not going to use my body. I'm not going to use my core or arm or shoulder to pull them down. The moment I grab it, I'm putting my whole weight into it to drag them to the ground. Right? This means anytime I can use momentum and gravity, I'm not going to use muscle. Okay, I'm going to let Mother Earth do my work for me. So, quick recap, the 6 energy saving tip when you're fighting. Number 1, relax. Number 2, breathe. Number 3, shake it out. Number 4, fight smart, not hard. Rather than going boom, 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 boom 100 times. Wait for the proper moment and jab them in the eye. Okay? Fight smart, not hard. Number 5, avoid grappling at all costs. Number 6, use momentum and gravity rather than muscles. Thank you for checking out today's Survival Thought today. It is good to be back. And as usual, if you wish to find me off of YouTube and find me on Twitter and Instagram, you can find me as at Johnny Tiger 1981. At Johnny Tiger 1981. I'll be back tomorrow for Soul Search Sunday. For now, be safe and have a good night.